The story begins in the vibrant city of Cartagena, Colombia. Here, we meet Leo, a man who spends most of his days lost in alcohol. One day, he arrives at a large house, having been called there by Lucia, a kind-hearted nurse. Lucia leads Leo to meet the lady of the house, Amélie. Amélie, originally from France, was a proud and strong-willed woman. She was looking for an additional caregiver. Leo had come hoping to get the job. Amélie, however, warned him that the work wouldn't be easy. She asked if he had any experience taking care of children or sick people. Leo, being honest, admitted he didn't. Still, he desperately needed this job. Seeing his sincerity, Amélie agreed to hire him. Leo started working immediately. Whenever he found a chance, he secretly drank alcohol. Amélie frequently called him for help, as she couldn't move on her own. Although it embarrassed her deeply, she tried to maintain her dignity. For instance, instead of asking Leo to turn the pages of her book, she would request him only to place it before her. She managed to turn the pages herself by holding a stick in her mouth. After a while, Amélie ordered Leo to prepare dinner by 8 p.m. and sent him out of the room. Meanwhile, Lucia was quite surprised that Amélie had chosen to hire a man for such a delicate job. Before Leo's arrival, Amélie had already replaced nearly 40 nurses, and all of them had been women. Lucia believed that a man should not see a woman in such a vulnerable state. To Amélie, her disability felt like a deep shame, something she thought only another woman could witness with dignity. However, Leo needed the job desperately. He was determined not to lose it, thinking he would rather wash dishes forever than give this opportunity up. Early the next morning, around 3 a.m., Lucia woke Leo up. She wanted to teach him how to change Amélie's diapers. Leo hadn't realized that such responsibilities would also be part of his job. Feeling a bit awkward, he hesitated. When he entered Amélie's room with Lucia to help freshen her up, Amélie pretended to be asleep. She was overwhelmed with embarrassment, knowing a man was now helping her with such personal tasks. Lucia asked Leo if he would be able to manage everything on his own. Leo nodded in agreement. The following morning, Amélie woke the whole house with her angry screams. Leo had fallen asleep drunk, forgetting his duties. His responsibilities included brushing her teeth, bathing her, feeding her, everything she needed to start her day. Once the morning tasks were done, Amélie would send Leo off to handle the housework. She loved feeling the fresh breeze through the open windows, and as she sat there, she often reflected on how different her life used to be compared to now. In the evening, Lucia returned home and asked Leo if he had managed everything well. Leo simply nodded in reply. Later, while hanging the laundry, Lucia asked for Leo's help. As they worked together, Leo couldn't hold back his curiosity and asked about Amélie's past. Lucia told him that 3 years ago, Amélie had been traveling from France to meet her fiancé. On the way, she had a terrible accident. When Amélie finally woke up from her coma, she discovered that she was completely paralyzed. Her arms and legs no longer worked. After that, Amélie made a heart-wrenching decision. She would never return to France. She didn't want her loved ones to see her in such a helpless state. Sadly, her fiancé never tried to reach out to her again. Later that night, after finishing his chores, Leo went to a bar to drown his sorrows. But even alcohol failed to bring him any peace. The next day, Leo returned to work. Lucia was genuinely happy to see him. After all, several nurses before him had barely lasted a few days before running away. Smiling warmly, Lucia handed Leo some cash along with a shopping list. Leo headed to the market to buy the supplies. While he was shopping, a girl tried to steal his money. Thankfully, Leo managed to protect it, but the girl quickly disappeared into the crowd. When Leo came back home, he heard loud laughter coming from Amélie's room. Curious, he peeked in and saw that her physical therapist had arrived, encouraging her to move around more. Just then, Leo noticed Lucia nearby, giving herself an injection. Their eyes met briefly, but neither said anything at that moment. Later, Lucia explained to Leo that the injection helped her stay focused and energized for work. Leo couldn't help but joke to himself that she might even outdrink the heavy drinkers. At dinner, Amélie frowned seeing the meal. Leo had prepared fish that day, and Amélie worried that even a tiny bone could get stuck in her throat. Calmly, Leo assured her that he had carefully removed every bone and thorn. He encouraged her to try it. Though hesitant at first, Amelie finally agreed when Leo gently fed her himself. She was delighted to find the fish perfectly clean, without a single bone. After dinner, Leo moved into the kitchen, where Lucia shared more about Amelie. She explained that Amelie was once a strong, independent woman, but now everything had changed. She didn't go out, didn't engage with the world. She was even afraid to sit in a wheelchair, worrying about what people might think, how once she soared, and now she couldn't even walk. Listening thoughtfully, Leo asked Lucia why she was working here, even though she had a teaching degree. Lucia simply smiled and avoided answering. After work, Leo returned to his small, messy apartment and started drinking. He spent the entire night drowning in alcohol, and the hangover stayed with him well into the next morning. Unable to pull himself together, he decided to skip a day of work. When Leo finally returned to Amelie's house the following day, he lied and said he had a fever. But Amelie wasn't fooled. She knew he must have been passed out drunk somewhere. Sternly, she warned Leo that if this ever happened again, he would lose his job. Later, Leo went to see Lucia, who handed him an envelope. It was his first paycheck. Now that he finally had some money, Leo treated himself to a brand new pair of shoes. Feeling nostalgic, he also visited a boxing club to relive a piece of his past. Leo had once been a European boxing champion. Eagerly, he began throwing punches at the heavy bag. However, years of being away from his sport had taken their toll. His punches lacked their old power and precision. The following day, we see Amelie talking about her love for reading books. Leo, on the other hand, admitted he didn't enjoy reading at all. Amelie was surprised and a bit doubtful. To test him, she told Leo to pick a book from the shelf and read it aloud. Leo started reading, but he could barely understand anything. Seeing this, Amelie decided that from now on, Leo would practice reading out loud to her every day to improve his skills and understanding. Leo continued his routine of visiting the boxing club after work. One day, at the center, the coach announced that they were preparing for a big fight in Cartina. Winning this fight could take them to the next level. Actually, the coach and Leo were old friends. The coach proposed an idea. If Leo trained Miranda, they could win. Fame, money, and a big push for women's boxing, all were at stake. There was another candidate as well, Lena. The moment Leo saw her, he recognized her. She was the same girl who had once tried to pickpocket him at the market. Leo sparred with Lena and easily defeated her, proving his strength. Meanwhile, Lucia confided in Amelie, saying that sometimes Leo did things that were hard to forgive. But Amelie responded that she had no reason to fire him. Leo quietly came, did his work, and left. More than that, he was taking very good care of Amelie. One day, Amelie asked Leo what he did after leaving her place. A bit hesitant, Leo replied, "I'm an athlete." That evening, Leo went to the beach, smoked a cigarette, and reflected quietly. The next day, Leo suggested an idea to Amelie. At first, she shouted no. But Leo, now sober and more determined, insisted. Finally, Amelie agreed. They went to a rooftop cafe by the beach. It was the first time in a long while that Amelie had stepped out of the house, and she felt genuinely happy. Leo brought a small box, a gift for her. He asked Amelie to close her eyes and guess the scent from a bottle he placed in front of her. Amelie loved the playful game and thanked Leo for giving her such a beautiful evening. A few days later, Leo met his coach friend again. He agreed to train Lena, but he made one condition. He wanted $5,000 if they won the fight. The coach accepted the deal. That same evening, Leo went to Miranda and asked if she knew where Lena lived. Miranda revealed that Lena hadn't been coming to the gym for days, and she didn't even have a proper home. Hearing this, Leo was taken aback. Meanwhile, Leo kept up his daily routine, reading books aloud to Amelie, walking her outside, and spending more time together. These were some of Amelie's happiest days, being with her friends, feeling free again. During one such outing, Leo spotted Lena walking with a man. He immediately realized the painful truth. Lena was earning money through questionable means. As days passed, Leo and Amelie grew closer, spending more and more time together, learning about each other's worlds. One day, Leo met Lena face to face. He asked her why she wasn't coming for training. Lena replied that boxing wasn't working out for her. She wasn't getting any money or fame from it. Leo then told her, "If you train under me, you'll earn both money and fame. Your life will change drastically." He mentioned the bet he had made with his coach regarding Lena and told her that if she won, she would get half of the earnings. After hearing this, Lena agreed to train, but the problem was she didn't even have enough money to buy food. Meanwhile, Amelie had stopped eating. She missed Leo dearly, but she didn't know that Leo was spending time with Lena. One night, while dancing at a bar, Lena bumped into another girl, and they got into a fight. Eventually, Lena and Leo had to run away from the scene. On the way, Lena stopped at a place to use the restroom. Just then, a group of guys got out of a car, coming to take revenge. They attacked Leo, beating him up severely, and kept asking him about Lena. Lena, seeing this, came to Leo's rescue with a gun in her hand. The guys, frightened, fled from the scene. Lena took Leo home, where his condition was so bad that he couldn't go to work the next day at Amelie's place. Leo asked Lena for a favor. The next morning, the doorbell rang at Amelie's mansion. Amelie had been eagerly waiting for Leo, but when she opened the door, it was Lena standing there. Lena told Lucia that Leo wouldn't be able to come to work today and introduced herself as Leo's new neighbor, the one who had sent her there. Lucia, noticing Lena's behavior, started to suspect something was going on between her and Leo. She told Amelie a lie, that a guy had come to say Leo was on leave today. Amelie, however, thought that Leo might never come back to work. She felt that he wouldn't have the courage to speak the truth anymore. To distract herself, she buried her head in books, but Leo's thoughts kept haunting her. Leo had become a beautiful part of her life. In the meantime, Leo was still living with Lena, though his wounds hadn't yet healed. Several days passed, and Amelie began interviewing new nurses for the position. However, none of them seemed right to her. She was constantly thinking about Leo, and then Leo actually showed up in front of her. His face was covered with bruises. Amelie, seeing him, became furious and told him, "You can leave now. You've been fired." Hearing this, Leo was deeply disturbed. Without saying anything, he left the place. That night, feeling the loss of his job, Leo sat down to drink. But he changed his mind and gave the bottle to a beggar instead. Lena came to Leo's house and asked if she could stay with him. Leo agreed. Days passed, and Leo began giving Lena proper training for the upcoming championship. Meanwhile, Amelie kept missing Leo and kept crying. Lucia came over with food for Amelie and tried to convince her to move on. Amelie replied, "I'm trying. I'm just so tired of this useless life." Amelie asked Lucia for an injection, but Lucia refused as she genuinely cared for her and didn't want her to do anything harmful. Meanwhile, Lena and Leo continued to train together, eating, enjoying, and having fun. Lena asked Leo, "You're a guy, so have you ever been attracted to me?" Leo clearly said, "No, not at all." Lena's plan was to marry Leo and settle down with him, living a great life in Europe. But Leo had other plans. He was still struggling to leave his bad habits behind. The next morning, when Amelie opened her eyes, Leo was lying next to her. She was in shock. Lucia, too, was in shock when she saw Leo in bed, but no one woke him up. When Leo woke up, he was confused about how he ended up there. Leo asked Amelie if he could get his job back, but Amelie couldn't trust him anymore. Leo promised that he would change for the better and quit drinking. Amelie, unable to control her emotions, started crying. She told him, "I've missed you so much." She said she didn't want to face the same painful things again, but in the end, she gave Leo another chance and hired him back. When Leo came out, Lucia warned him, "If you hurt Amelie again, there will be consequences." Leo and Amelie started going out together again, enjoying nature. For Amelie, this time was very precious. No one had ever done something like this for her before. Meanwhile, Leo continued to train Lena. Lena started improving, and Leo was handling everything well. He took care of Amelie, trained Lena, and managed his own work. One day, Amelie told Leo, "Be careful while fighting in the ring. Don't get hurt." Leo later told Lucia that he wouldn't be coming for the next 2 days because he needed to train Lena for the championship. Lucia didn't tell Amelie about Lena, fearing that if Amelie knew, she would get hurt. To keep Amelie from getting upset, Lucia kept the truth from her. Amelie then asked Lucia to bring a gift for Leo, a yellow shirt, like a sunflower. It was the day of the fight. Both coaches were watching the fight between their representatives, and in the end, Lena won. With that, Leo won the bet and received $5,000. The coach handed Leo the money, but Leo decided to give all of it to Lena, as she truly deserved it. Finally, Leo took Amelie for a long drive in his friend's awesome car. On the way, Amelie told Leo that it had been a long time since she had been this far from home. She was beginning to feel that there was still so much to live for in life. Leo took his love to the seaside, and they went swimming together. It felt like the moment of freedom they had been waiting for, like they were the only two people in the world. So friends, what do you think? Sometimes life brings us unexpected challenges, but it also shows us moments of hope, love, and second chances. Just like Leo and Amelie, we all have the power to change, grow, and make things right. What would you do if you were in their shoes? Would you give someone a second chance? Or would you walk away? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss out on our upcoming videos. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep believing in the beauty of second chances.